What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we got some huge recruiting news as Michigan's set to land another commitment next week. Plus, Michigan got two new predictions in to land a key 4-star running back. Plus, Michigan should also be a favorite to land these two defensive linemen following the commitment from Nathaniel Marshall. So go over Michigan hiring a new staffer, which could help with recruiting, as well as Justin Trez and Michigan's strength program have been really impressive following Ben Herbert's departure. Plus, Sherrone Moore talks about Michigan offense and can Michigan break the NFL draft record of more than 15 players selected this weekend in the NFL draft. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing I did want to talk about is Michigan adding a new staffer, as Michigan has hired James Brown as a senior analyst with a focus on special teams and safeties. Now, according to E.J. Holland of the Wolverine, Brown previously served as the director of high school relations at SMU, where he played a key role with recruiting thanks to his vast network in the state of Texas. So he does bring some Texas ties. He's also a veteran of the game, but new to the world of college football. Before joining the staff at SMU, he did work as a longtime Texas high school coach. So the hiring of James Brown should help with recruiting as well for Michigan. So very cool there. And speaking of recruiting, Michigan, they obviously stopped their commitment drought with a big time pickup of the 2025 4-star defensive lineman Nathaniel Marshall. And now it seems that Michigan will be getting more and more commits here. We did get some new predictions in, including a recruit who has set his commitment date, and that is Avery Gatch, the 2025 4-star offensive tackle from Wiley E. Groves in Franklin, Michigan, ranked 196th nationally on 24/7 Sports rankings, and he will be announcing his decision on Friday, May 3rd at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Michigan right now has 8 crystal ball predictions going in their favor, including 7 of them coming in the month of April. So everybody expecting him to commit to Michigan, which will be another big time pickup for Michigan. They have been going after him for a long time and have been the favorite also for a very long time, as the in-state recruit looks to stay in the state of Michigan and go to the national champions, the Michigan Wolverines. Then the other guy that I wanted to talk about is the 2025 4-star running back Marquise Davis from Cleveland, Ohio, ranked 166th nationally on 24/7 Sports composite rankings. And Michigan has just picked up 2 crystal ball predictions yesterday from Tom Loy and Alan True of 24/7 Sports, which is absolutely huge news. He is just coming off a visit. Now he has offers from Ohio State, Michigan, Kentucky, Penn State, Tennessee, and others. Those are the main schools right now that have a chance to land him, but he does have officials set up to Kentucky on June 14th, Michigan on June 7th, and Tennessee on June 21st. And it would be another outstanding running back from the state of Ohio if Michigan was able to get Marquise Davis. They obviously have the 2024 4-star running back Jordan Marshall, so some good news there on Marquise Davis and also Avery Gatch. Now, with the commitment of Nathaniel Marshall, he has already gone to work and started to recruit other players to Michigan. One of them is the 2025 4-star edge Marco Jones from the state of California. He is ranked 108th nationally on 24/7 Sports rankings. Now, he also visited over the weekend here to Michigan for the spring game. He talked about his visit. He told Brandon Hoffman of 24/7 Sports that my unofficial to Michigan was fantastic. What stood out most to me was the family environment that the coaches and players have. He also said the facilities were fantastic, and Ann Arbor is a beautiful place. Campus is beautiful as well. And he said he's also likely to return to Michigan for an official visit in the summer. Now, I did name a top 10 recently of Alabama, Florida State, Maryland, Michigan, Oklahoma, Oregon, Penn State, Texas, Texas A&M, and USC. And obviously another defensive lineman that Michigan should have a good chance of landing now with the commitment of Nathaniel Marshall is the 4-star defensive lineman in the 2025 class, Jalen Williams from the state of Illinois, ranked 145th nationally on 24/7 Sports rankings. And right now, Michigan has 3 crystal ball predictions going in their favor. And Jalen Williams and Nathaniel Marshall do have a good connection with each other, so we could wind up seeing that duo play together at Michigan. That's some good recruiting news there. Recruiting finally starting to take off now for Michigan. We should start to see more and more commits fall now. I did want to talk about the football team, Sherrone Moore, talked a little bit about the offense and the NFL draft coming up as well. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is Michigan's new strength coach, Justin Trez, and Abigail O'Connor, the nutritionist at Michigan. As obviously you know, Michigan, they lost Ben Herbert. There was a lot of worries about that, but Justin Trez has come in, done a phenomenal job. Also seems like the recruits love it on their visits. And just to prove that, you know, Michigan's development and strength program is still strong, Jim Guarnera, who is new freshman offensive lineman Jake Guarnera's father, I believe, he posted on Twitter that he put on 20 plus pounds of solid mass since joining Michigan in January, which is absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think about that. And then Sherrone Moore was also on In the Trenches podcast talking to John Jansen. He spoke about the offense for Michigan. He said, I think they had a great maturation because of who they're going against every day. He said, if you don't get better, you're just going to get smashed every day by our defense. He said, it's super competitive right now as far as the quarterback battle. And he said, I'm excited to see what happens in the spring or in the summertime and then in fall camp. And we won't know until probably fall camp, until game 1, a week or so before that game. But he said it's a healthy competition. They're pushing each other, so it's been really good. We did talk about it, you know, after the spring game. It seems like the quarterback battle right now is between Alex Orji and Davis Warren. Speaking about Alex Orji, he said he's just gotten better every single day. He studies the game at a high level. He's a great leader, and he's a superb athlete. And I'm excited to see where he goes. And then talking about Davis Warren, he said just the way he performed is kind of who he is. You know, his story and what he's been through. He's just a dude that's never going to give up, keeps fighting and keeps clawing. He's had a great spring and topped it off with a really good game. He also talked about Jaden Davis, the freshman quarterback. He said for a young freshman, he's been super impressive. He said he's a little bit like Jaden McCarthy, where he's a young guy and guys get gravitated towards him. He also said that when they were playing in the Rose Bowl in the national championship, he said he just came back from both of those games and he was in here studying film. He said the kid really gets it and what it means to be a quarterback here. Jaden Davis, no doubt, is Michigan's future quarterback and will definitely, you know, have a chance to start next year. And who knows, maybe he'll get a chance this season, but, you know, he is young and, you know, kind of just like JJ McCarthy. He'll probably, you know, sit out this year, learn the system more. But I tell you what, next year could definitely be the start of the Jaden Davis era. And then last thing I wanted to talk about is the NFL draft, which starts tomorrow night. Obviously, we'll be in Detroit, Michigan, which is very cool. And also very cool that Michigan could break the draft record for the most players drafted. NFL draft record right now is with more than 15 players selected. That's what Michigan will have to do, is get more than 15 players selected. And right now, according to Pro Football Focus latest mock draft, it predicts 17 former Wolverines will be drafted. Joe Klatt, he spoke with reporters about what he predicts from the weekend as far as Michigan football players getting drafted. He did talk about JJ McCarthy. He says that the Minnesota Vikings are probably the landing spot, but I wouldn't rule out Las Vegas. There are a lot of teams that have, you know, talked to him, including the Commanders, Patriots, Broncos, obviously the Vikings and the Raiders. A lot of teams are, you know, interested in him, so it's going to be interesting where he lands and where he ends up in the NFL draft. But he will for sure be a first rounder, potentially a top 10 pick, potentially a top 3 pick for all we know. But, you know, Klatt said, you know, on the field, his ability to create first downs, that was remarkable last year. So when you turn on the tape and then you go in and you filter it out and you watch a cut up of like just 3rd and 6+ or 7+, and all of a sudden it jumps off the tape, you're like, wow, this guy is incredibly effective in those situations and he's confident, and those things are gonna serve him well at the next level. And speaking of Blake Corum, he said he's one of the most undervalued players in the entire draft. He said, I think that his ability to run with vision is really unmatched in this draft, and then he catches it a lot better than people realize out of the backfield. I'm also excited to see where Blake Corum ends up. There's been talk about him potentially going to the Cowboys, potentially Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers getting him. But whoever gets him, I mean, they're going to be getting a very productive back out of Blake Corum. I'm excited to see what he does in the NFL. A lot of people are counting him out because he's a smaller back, but I tell you what, his vision, the cuts he makes, his agility, it is really, really good. And Klatt also said that he, does think there's an outside chance for, I would say 17 is the number where Michigan could break the record. He also joked about Jim Harbaugh potentially loading up on guys in the 7th round just to get the record, which would be pretty funny. But he did say that I would say those late rounds, 6th and 7th round in particular, in the 5th round, you're going to see a lot of Wolverines taken because they were so deep and all of their role players were draftable players. So Michigan has a chance to break the record this weekend in Detroit in the NFL draft, and it would be a cherry on top to this unbelievable and perfect 2023 and 2024 Michigan football team. Let me know what you guys think. Will Michigan break the record? I think they definitely have a chance, and we will find out this weekend. But with that, that's going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you're new around here. Also turn on post notifications while you're at it so you never miss a post or a video on the channel. But with that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.